Hey everyone, this is Miko from the Permit Empire, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in to today's video. I want to thank those of you who have recently liked, commented, subscribed, or even shared any of my videos. I want to let you know I truly do appreciate it, but I also want to invite those of you who have not done any of those things so far to do so today. So today I wanted to get into a little bit more about setting rates and things to consider when setting your rates. Now previously, yes, I did a video about setting your minimum rates for permit running services. So I'm just kind of digging into that a little bit more today. So as of recent, you see that there's been a lot of changes with the price of gas. I wanted to take this moment to just kind of talk about that in this video, right? When you're setting your rates, this is one of the things that I had previously said. For the most part, you have to consider how much you're spending for things like this, for gas, for your travel. And it's really important because when you set your rates, if you are not setting them accordingly, you will find that you are losing or that you're not making much of a profit at all when you're doing permit running. Now, you are doing a lot of traveling. And let's say for those of you who are not doing so much traveling because you're doing permits online, did you have to go pick up the permit documents from the contractor? Was there someone you had to meet with to pick documents up, or did they send them over to you electronically? If they sent them over to you electronically, that's great. If they sent them over to you in an email, that's great. But for the most part, I still find myself having to pick up documents from my contractors and from my clients. So I'm still, considering the gas that I'm spending and the travel time that I'm spending to get back and forth to these clients, picking up documents. And even right now, I'm outside of the building department, doing a walkthrough permit today. But this is something that could have been done online, but because this client really urgently needed this permit, we're doing a walkthrough so that we'll get approval for the same day. So in this case, I still had to come in and pick up the original documents and submit those things to the building department. So this is something that you really should consider, seeing as though gas prices recently have just been up and down, and for the most part up, but they've really been shifting, causing you to have to spend much more money on your travel than you would have before. Just recently, I just drive a Toyota, right? So usually it takes me about $38, $40 to fill up my tank. And I usually fill up when I stop to the gas station. I don't like to stop for gas. I just don't. So when I do stop, I go ahead and try to fill up so that way it'll, eliminate me coming back, soon. So for the most part, I spend $38 to $40 on gas, right? As of recent, I stopped to the gas station last week. I stopped to the gas station. I was on E. So I'm at the gas station, and at that particular gas station, it was completely packed, right? Now, it was in the middle of the day. It was right in the middle of the day, but the gas station was completely packed. Some of the pumps weren't working, but the gas station was packed. I said, okay, I can't wait here at this gas station. So I went across the street to the next gas station. The prices were higher at that gas station. All pumps were available, but the prices were higher. I had to get gas right then because I had an appointment to make it to it, and I couldn't chance running out of gas, right? So I went ahead, I got a couple gallons of gas. I spent $10 basically on gas. I spent $10, did my appointments, but then by the end of the day, I had to fill up again because I had burnt that gas out. That point, to fill up my tank was an additional $60. So in one day, I paid $70 for gas, which I never do. I've never spent $70 in one day for gas on one vehicle, and especially this vehicle. I've never done that. So that is something that I have to consider when I'm setting my rates for pricing. How much am I spending on those things? And especially right now, I actually had to do a price increase this year myself because not only did gas go up, but even the cost of paper. And for me, I do a lot of printing because I also prepare some of the permit packages that I do. So I'm doing a lot of printing. And when you do online permits, you're also printing out those permits to give to the contractor so that he can have them on the job site for inspection. So that's something that you have to consider: the cost of toner, the cost of ink, printing, all of that stuff you have to consider. The wear and tear on your vehicle. I just recently got my car serviced. About 3 weeks ago, I got my car serviced and I spent $300. I also had to get a new battery. I got my battery replaced about 3 days ago. That was $160. But that is something that I have to consider if I am just going into doing permits and doing permit running services for a very small base rate. If I do that, and that's the only way I'm making money, I will find myself out of business pretty soon. So it's just something that I want you guys to consider when you are setting your rates. So for this video, I just wanted to drop that little bit of advice. I don't want to keep you guys too long on this video. Like I said, I'm outside of the building department waiting to be called in. So I want to go ahead and make sure I get in and get my permit once it's approved. But yes, definitely guys, consider that as much as possible. I know that it's sometimes kind of easy to take the lower prices because that's a good way to get the client. But yes, definitely consider, am I making a profit? After I spend the money for the maintenance, for the insurance, for the gas on my vehicle, for the paper, for the toner, for the ink, am I actually making a profit after all of these things have been covered? Do I see that I am being able to take home some type of salary after I've covered all of those expenses? So again, just something for you to consider. I hope that, it did give you something to consider with this video. If you have any questions, any comments, definitely feel free to leave them below. And I look forward to chit-chatting with you in the comments.